Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please welcome to the stage college-bound alumni and future USC Trojan, Angel Prado Calderon.
My name is Angel Prado Calderon, and I am a proud alumni of the college-bound program of the Boys and Girls Club of Central Orange Coast. I'd like to thank you all today for being here and for wanting to learn more about how the clubs are impacting youth such as myself, as well as the communities surrounding us. To begin this session, I want to thank all the individuals that made this event possible. Starting off with Irvine Marriott for being the entire backdrop for our event, and we could please give them a round of applause. Now, I would like to thank our different sponsors, starting off with our executive sponsor, NetWatch. Now, our premier level sponsors, Fifth Third Bank, Brown Forman, and the Joe McPherson Foundation. Now, our leader sponsors, Hyundai Capital America, Sandy Feinberg, and the Irving and Nancy Chase. And lastly, our community partner sponsors and board sponsors, which will be listed on the boards behind me. And lastly, I would like to give one last recognition to the board members here present with us. If you could please stand up so we can give you a round of applause. Recognizing the different donors and supporters who have been helping the club throughout the year, as you can see. But now, I would like to personally thank the Boys and Girls Club for everything they've done to help both me and my community. I identify as a first generation and low income student who was primarily raised by a single mother. As such, I didn't have much access to many of the resources that the rest of my peers have easy access to. The club was one of the main factors that helped bridge that gap between my education as well as in the education of others. They offered me invaluable guidance that gave me a strong advantage compared to a lot of other students and allowed me to get into numerous great schools, including the one that I have committed to, USC. Fight on! As I conclude my speech, I would like let's give a round of applause to not just the clubs I should say, but also my peers sitting at these tables who have overcome numerous obstacles to be where they are today. Alright. As we prepare to take a break and enjoy some conversations, I want to pose a question for all of you to discuss. I want you to think of a little moment that made a big impact in your life. This could have been a time that maybe a teacher convinced you to do something you weren't so confident at. Or, like for me, it could have been a time that you were just riding a bike to the middle of nowhere. For me, such an experience really opened my eyes to the different types of marvels that lay right beside me. Simply exploring a new area piqued my curiosity so much that I actually ended up forgetting how far I was from home, which maybe wasn't the best of ideas, but I had a lot of fun with it. I'm excited to hear all the different conversations around the room. At this time, please enjoy your breakfast, and we will resume the program shortly. Thank you.
Whether you're business leaders and you're looking for results out of your business, or your team, or yourself, or for all the parents and grandparents in the room that are looking for the greatest outcomes for your own kids or grandkids, you all understand the level of sacrifice, work, and determination, all mixed together with a whole lot of luck to be successful in life. you understand what it takes. And as an organization, our Boys and Girls Club is exactly the same. And that video that we just watched, I know everyone was networking, so hopefully y'all didn't miss too much of the content. We strive day in and day out to ensure that every child that we serve has greater access to the resources and opportunities that they need to be successful in life and to achieve their greatest outcomes in life. Whether it was from the launch of our workforce development program this year, which seeks to connect high school students with above livable wage careers without the need of getting a 4-year higher education. Or our mental health initiative, which launched this year, which through a combination of both direct service and enhanced partnership networks, expands the resources for both our staff and all our families to have access to these critical resources during these times. Or our continued challenge with the academic achievement gap, which was exacerbated through the pandemic and the challenges with remote learning. This year, we relaunched our early literacy intervention efforts, which target students in kindergarten through 3rd grade to ensure that they are reading on grade level by the end of their school year. Or our College Bound program, which continues to serve nearly 3,000 students this year. And speaking of College Bound, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to make an announcement, which we will share with everyone. But we are going to be opening up a new facility in Santa Ana. And this is the first of a new business line that we're looking at, where we will be opening up a Boys and Girls Club site within a retail space. It'll be essentially across the street from Saddleback High School. And you can see from the pictures on the screen here, with the before and afters, this is an investment in the community that is necessary, and it is one that our kids deserve. They deserve greater access to colleges and careers that help change their future outcomes. And as we stand here today, our club, our organization could only do this work because of the collective community coming together and figuring out how you want to get involved, where you want to get involved, and when you want to get involved. We truly believe in that collective impact. And now I'd like to recognize a few of our partners that have helped us get there throughout the year. And it truly starts with our board of directors. Our board are our greatest champions, our greatest advocates for our kids. Probably embarrassing, but I'm going to ask you once again, please stand and be recognized for all of your support, for all that you do for our club. I now would like to highlight our friends in local government and local school systems, who without your support, we could not serve the number of students that we serve or the geographical footprint that we serve. And so I'm going to list the names of our attendees that are in the audience today. If you all would please stand and we can hold our applause to the end. The Mayor of Santa Ana, Valerie Amesqua. 5th District of Orange County Supervisor, Katrina Foley. From the City of Newport Beach, Councilmember Robin Grant. From our friends at Newport Mesa Unified, where we will be expanding our service next year, Kurt Sir, Socorro Shields, and Kathleen Leary. Our friends at Orange Unified, Adolfo Herrera. From Samueli Academy, Anthony Saba. From the Arts and Learning Conservatory, Deborah Wondercheck. And from Cal State Fullerton, Jay Barbudo. Can we give these partners please? I now want to recognize our business community, who from the beginning of our Boys and Girls Club 80 plus years ago have been paramount in our success as an organization. And especially this year as we launched our workforce development program, where in its first full year of programming, we served over 1,100 students in year 1. And so you'll see the logos up on the screen, but I would like to recognize the Newport Beach, Santa Ana, Costa Mesa, Orange, Irvine, and Newport Beach Chambers of Commerce. Can we give them a round of applause? donors, who many of them were listed on the screen before, our annual donors truly provide the financial lifeblood for our organization, and they allow our team to work to fulfill the mission of our Boys and Girls Club. And this year, we're going to recognize a special group of donors. Their names will be up on the screen, but these donors have supported our organization for 20 or more years consecutively, which is incredible, right? Amazing, 20 plus years. And we have 4 of them that are in the audience today. So we're going to call their names out. We've got a little thank you for them, starting with Yvonne Harrell, Mike and Kathy McLean, Mike and Kathy McLean, Dave Buckingham Smith, and Frank and Shannon Tucker. Can we please give these donors a special round of applause? For 20 plus years, incredible. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your financial commitment. Thank you for the impact that you've created with our club. And lastly, we're going to recognize today our Heritage Club. And for those that may not be familiar with this, this is not a group that we really talk about all that much, but these are a very special group of donors that have decided to include our club in their estate plan or have made a planned gift for our club. And these are truly legacy commitments that these donors have made for the future generations of kids that aren't even born yet. And we're incredibly grateful. You can see their names on the screen of both our current Heritage Club members as well as those who have passed and are no longer with us. Today, we would like to recognize our 2 newest members of the Heritage Club that are here with us today, Dave Buckingham Smith and Chip Caldwell. Will you go please stand? I once again want to thank you all for being here today. Thank you for being a part of our club and our mission. Thank you for being a part of our collective impact. And when I talk about collective impact, I truly mean you're changing the trajectory of lives in Orange County. And that's why right now I am so excited to introduce our next speaker, Ms. Selena Mendez. But before Selena comes to the stage, because I think she's too humble to do it herself, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this special young woman. She just graduated from Nova Academy. She finished with a 4.65 GPA. I don't even know how that's possible. She was selected as the valedictorian of her school. She was elected ASB president. She was awarded our Boys and Girls Club Youth of the Year. She was awarded the Orange County Boys and Girls Club Youth of the Year. As a college-bound member, she has earned $18,000 in direct scholarship support from our club. She has also earned nearly $50,000 in additional grants, scholarships, and financial support to support her in just her first year next year, where she will be attending Berkeley to pursue a double major, one's not enough, in business and public policy. Will you all please give a very warm welcome to Selena?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Selena Mendez, and I am this year's Orange County's Youth of the Year. My involvement with this lovely organization began over 3 years ago with the College Bound program. Being a first-generation Latina with the dream to go to college, but not knowing what to do to get there, scared me. As an eager sophomore, I was introduced to the College Bound program, which was a perfect program for me with the perfect name. I had an advisor who guided me, made sure I was kept on track with all of my classes, and who also ensured I was kept mentally sane through it all. Once I joined the Boys and Girls Clubs of Central Orange Coast, I became immersed in all their values and aspects as an organization. From participating in a Fox News interview to being a part of a panel Q&A, I developed a new sense of self-confidence and an array of skills that I would later utilize in my Youth of the Year process. But my love for the club did not stop with me. I felt the need to share my experiences and opportunities with others. So I began by encouraging friends to join the program and later advocated for an early integration of high school, freshmen at my high school through school site council meetings. Halfway through my senior year, my advisor, Ms. Stephanie, recommended me for the Youth of the Year leadership competition. And this was my little moment. I remember I was in the car with my mom on our way to get tamales when I had received the email that I had been selected as a finalist for this competition. My excitement was through the roof, and I had just had a taste of my first experience of being chosen and seen. 5 years ago, if you would have asked me if scholarships would be available for people with backgrounds like mine, I wouldn't have believed that to be a possibility. So hearing, as I was one step closer to making that my success story, ignited within me a passion to continue on and make those around me proud. While preparing for the next steps in the competition, I was beyond nervous and scared. And when the day finally came when they'd announced who had won, I remember telling myself, it's okay, you've made it this far and you should be proud of everything that you've done. So hearing, as my name was called up for the Youth of the Year for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Central Orange Coast, I couldn't help but to tear up. I had just been selected as the first person in my family to ever receive a scholarship, and let alone win a youth leadership competition. So my passions did not stop there, and I was ready to continue on with the next steps of the competition. Having the support of my club, my speech mentor, Miss Lauren Sweeney, and my family encouraged me to not only participate in the Orange County Youth of the Year competition, but to win it as well. When I won, the first thing on my mind was to hug and congratulate my fellow finalists and newly formed friendships. Because as my mom always taught me, it's important to acknowledge those around us, but to also remain humble in our accomplishments. So knowing that public speaking and community advocacy were one of my biggest passions, I have now developed a new love for youth advocacy and continued that through my Youth of the Year competition at state level. In Sacramento, traveling with Miss Elaine and Mr. David opened my eyes to a new love of politics. I realized that if I wanted to see change in my community and I wanted to be a representation of what Latinos were doing, then I needed to be front and center of that change through political advocacy. Hearing the stories from my local politicians as they took the time to recognize me for my accomplishments through the club, I realized that as they serve as an inspiration for me to continue, that I can be that inspiration for other youth around me. So thank you to everybody who has recognized me today, Ms. Mayor and the Orange County Supervisor, Vicente Sarmiento. And thanks to Vicente Sarmiento, I now have the opportunity to be an Orange County Supervisor for a day. So everything that I have accomplished up to now has been thanks to the club, and I am forever grateful for all the opportunities that I have received. In the same way, the club has inspired me to be a great leader and a better person every single day. I will make sure to inspire change everywhere I go. Without the club, I know that I wouldn't have been able to graduate as a valedictorian of my class with the title of Orange County Youth of the Year. So thank you. I will continue to make a change anywhere I go, and so I promise to be the best Berkeley student I can possibly be and future Golden Bear. Thank you so much for everybody for supporting this lovely organization who contributes to success stories like mine and many others. Every single day that you support this club, you support other youth in their efforts to having a better future. So thank you for contributing to the leaders of tomorrow. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Chief Executive Officer of Boys and Girls Clubs of Central Orange Coast, Robert Santana.
Good morning. You guys all remember those 2 tickets for the game, $25. 2 hot dogs, 2 sodas, 2 popcorns, $15. Where's Dennis Cool? I know that that's not what food costs. This was from the 90s, it was on YouTube, very old commercial. 2 bags of peanuts, $4. Taking your son, 11 years old, to his first baseball game, priceless. Some things in life, what's the rest of it? You guys know. What's the rest of that slogan? For those things in life that are not free, something, it's priceless, right? I saw this video a few months ago, and it got me thinking about the big things in life and the small things in life, right? And how often we pay all of our attention to the big things, right? And sometimes we don't appreciate and recognize the small things, right? These big things, the birth of your child, the moment you met your spouse, getting that big promotion, those are big events. But life is about all of those small things in between. Those little things that we do, those decisions that we make, that make the biggest difference. I've been thinking a lot about big things and little things. We're known for, as an organization, for the big things that we do. Just a little while ago, Travis shared some of the big announcements, the big achievements of this year. Whether it's expansion, or College Bound program that we launched 9 years ago, the renovation of our facilities, the merger in 2015, all these exciting big things. That's what we're known for. Innovation, expansion, big ideas, bold ideas. I've been thinking a lot more about the little things. I've been thinking about all the little things that happen every single day that make the biggest difference. And the thing is that big things usually require strategy, money, us really thinking big picture, long term, and thinking about the details. Little things come from culture. The culture that you create, the culture of excellence, the culture of doing the right thing, the culture of purpose. A lot of the small things that happen do not require you to stop and say, what's the ROI of this decision I'm about to make? What's the big picture? A lot of those little things are a result of you just doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And the more and more I pay attention to the little things in our organization, the more and more I appreciate culture and purpose and the collective impact of people and the collective impact of little things. Before I go on to this topic of mentorship and the power of mentorship and kind of the state of mentoring in our communities, I want to share with you some little things. Because I think those little things is what makes our mission happen. It's what drives impact in the smallest way, but collectively leads to transformational change in our communities. I have this framed picture in my office. It's a bunch of Legos spread out, and there's this quote that says, "Great things are due to a series of good small things coming together." And it means a lot in the context of what we're talking about, because all these small things that we do, when we put them together, has the greatest impact in someone's life. And you've heard a couple success stories already. And while the big thing is what God has organized to launch a program like College Bound, it's the little things, like the time that an academic advisor takes to build a relationship, that really leads to change. So I want to talk about little things. I want to talk about the popsicle parties that we do throughout the year to celebrate kids, make sure that they have fun. Remember your childhood and getting that popsicle on a hot day, hanging out with your friends. Some of you know that we do a birthday party every single month to celebrate every kid's birthday. And believe it or not, I've met alum that have come back to me as adults and have shared with me that they came from an abusive household, and the Boys and Girls Club was the only place that celebrated their birthdays. It's the only place that they got to blow out a candle. It's the only place that they had someone, a group of people, sing a happy birthday song to them. It's something that stuck in their memory for their entire life. It's a little thing. I
think about our food program. That's a big thing. We have a partnership with Second Harvest Food Bank. And we've delivered meals every single week since the start of the pandemic, and we will continue to do so as long as the community needs those services. That's a big thing. The little thing, one of our staff members from a different site knew of a family that couldn't get to the location of our distribution program for the food. So they started, as a staff member, getting the food that this family needed and taking it to that site so that they had access to these foods. That's a little thing. That's someone doing the right thing. One of our college-bound advisors, building trust and rapport and a connection, relationship with their students, met a senior in high school that shared with her that he was struggling with the essay portion of his scholarship applications. He's a second language learner, and he was a superstar student, but he struggled with the essay. So our academic advisor put together a schedule during lunch, after school, and for weeks they worked together on this essay. Our advisor did do the work for them. She offered to provide proofreading and coaching and feedback and confidence. I want everyone here to imagine the joy that that young man felt when he received his approval letters for scholarship, and how excited he was to come to his advisor and tell her that she helped him earn those scholarship funds. Those are those little things. One of our team members in Santa Ana is one of our more active teenagers. She shows up every single day. She volunteers for everything. She raises her hand and supports every initiative that we have. One of the staff members noticed that she drives her bicycle to the club every day. It's a rusted out old bicycle. It's probably one of, where's Mike McLean? An 11 is probably one of your old bicycles that you rode when you were a kid going to the club in the 50s and 60s. So during Christmas, our staff got her a brand new bicycle. Little things. I started looking for little things, and our staff that are here, I started asking for more little things. And at first I thought, this is going to be like searching for a needle in a haystack. What I learned immediately, it's the whole haystack. It's all of those little things combined that drive impact. Some of you that are here that showed up this morning were approached by some of our teens. They shook your hand, they looked you in the eye, they introduced themselves, and they gave you one of these business cards with their name, their phone number, their QR code to their LinkedIn profile that we helped them set up. Those are those little things. And we were really good at measuring impact and looking at grade point average and academic performance indicators and all these other metrics. It's really tough to measure confidence. But of all the things we do here, through our mentor relationships, building trust, and helping our young people build that confidence, Selena just shared her story. It's a story of confidence. It's a story of a lot of people, including me, growing up in Santa Ana, is you not knowing if you're worthy enough. If that's not your path, it's the imposter syndrome. Is that really what I'm supposed to be doing? Is college, for me, I don't have anyone in my family that's ever gone to college. And someone being there and doing those little things, constantly reminding you and encouraging you, motivating you, all those little things. So I think a lot about these little things, and it's not just the little things that happen at the Boys and Girls Club, it's the little things that you do in your everyday life. I encourage you to think about the little things that you do for your family, your loved ones, the little things that you do for your coworkers and your friends, and look for the opportunities to do the right thing. Those little things matter. I don't know why, but we ignore those little things a lot. We don't put a lot of value in them. But as I just shared, all those things make a huge difference. Someone feeling loved and cared for and acknowledged is important. I'm proud of all the big things that we do. We're very well known for the big things. And that is important, obviously. It's the environment that we create, the infrastructure we develop, so that we can do the little things very, very well and at scale. So what does this mean? Well, the first is look for the little things. Enjoy the little things. Do the little things. The second is we're really grateful to you for your support to allow us to do those little things, those acts of kindness, those gestures, those connectivities that we build. So I want to shift back to the big picture. I refer to this issue, this crisis that we're seeing in our community and in communities across the country, where we have opportunities and then we have young people. And there's this giant ravine in between. And I would refer to that as the mentorship gap. It's where kids are, where young people are, and where we want them to be. And for the first time in many generations, young people are facing obstacles that no other generation before them has felt. And the reason is, this economy, this world, this environment is changing at the fastest pace that we've ever seen it change. We see that for those of you that are leading businesses, there are changes in your industry that are happening faster than you as a business can keep up with. The types of jobs that exist today will look different in the next several years. How you earn a job will look different in the future than how you've earned a job in the past. How you interview for a job will look different. How you prepare for workforce will look different. This world is moving so fast, and we are leaving kids behind. So there's this mentorship gap. And the reason I call it the mentorship gap is because there's obviously a lot of layers to this onion around what are the things that we need to do to prepare this next generation of kids, young people, and the generation behind them. But I have found that having a mentor in your life is the single most important factor to you reaching your full potential. It's not just more books or more education or trying harder. I wish we have kids that try hard and still don't have a competitive advantage. The difference maker is a mentor. Someone that is there for you, someone that is invested in your success, someone that is there to help you out, to motivate you, to get you up when you fall down, to drive your energy, especially when you're feeling down or you doubt yourself, to fill your confidence up so that when you walk into that room or when you submit that application or when you go and secure a scholarship, you're doing so with confidence. Do a quick social experiment. I'm going to list a couple things. I'm going to say a couple things. And if this applies to you, I want you to stand up. And I'm going to put a bet out here that by the time I'm done, every single person in this room is going to be standing up. So, listen carefully. If I say something that applies to you, stand up. Everyone good on those instructions, right? If you had a coach growing up that inspired you and taught you about persistence, hard work, resiliency, stand up. If you had a teacher or a professor that inspired a passion or inspired you to go into the profession or something that has just lit a fire under you, please stand up. If you have friends, peers, that check in on you, they ask you how you're doing, if you're having a rough day, they're there. Or you can reach out to them, they're there. You can rely on them to be there. Stand up. Who the hell's still sitting down? Right? So 2 things. Is everyone standing up? Is there anyone? Did I miss someone? No? Everyone standing up, right? So 2 things before you sit down. Stand up. 2 things. The first is, every single one of us, I'm standing up, is a result of the generosity of other people. We have all benefited because other people have invested in us, they've been there for us, they've supported us. That's why we're here. And the second, this is how you get a standing ovation when you're giving a speech. So the power of mentorship. Has anyone ever heard that Isaac Newton quote? If I am able to see further It's because I stand on the shoulders of giants. Have you raised your hand if you've heard that quote? I maybe said it a little bit different, but that's it, right? Well, we would all agree Isaac Newton was a smart person, right? But I like to think that he missed something there. The way that I would prefer to go is, if I have seen further than others, it's because I stand on the shoulders of giants, ... And now I must be a giant for others. Okay? That's mentorship. We all have benefited. All of us are probably benefiting today from those types of relationships. You're never too old to have a mentor, to have someone that challenges you and thinks about you and checks on you and motivates you. We have a responsibility to do that for others. Let me say that again. We all have a responsibility to do that for others. We have really cool marketing and really, awesome collateral material. Some of it's probably developed or on your table, whatever. I cannot say our mission more simply than what I just said. That is the purpose of our organization. It's to invest in the next generation of leaders, making sure that they have a relationship that is caring and loving, someone that is in their life that is invested in their success. Because we all need that support system. I think a lot about these big things, these little things, and mentorship, these relationships that lead to impact. In 2 weeks, I celebrate my 18th anniversary here at the Boys and Girls Club. And a few weeks ago, I was speaking to our graduating seniors and trying to think about something inspirational to say and advice to give. And it wasn't until I was in the parking lot at this event, and I was thinking, it's my 18th year coming up. And it was this moment of, first off, how old I am. But two, when I started at the Boys and Girls Club as a volunteer, this graduating class, those that are here today, just graduated, recently, they weren't born yet, or they were about to be, they had just been born. And I started to think about it, this 18-year milestone is my first cycle at the Boys and Girls Club, from diapers to college. To see where the club has grown and evolved and innovated in this span of time, to see that we're going to serve almost 3,000 high school students this year through College Bound, that we're seeing 100% graduation rate, 100% of them are going to college. We've distributed over $200,000 in scholarships, or more importantly, we've secured over $2.3 million for financial aid just for this first year of college. To see that momentum and the pace that we're at now compared to where we were 18 years ago, I can't help but think about the next 18 years, the next couple cycles. And how it's all possible because of the collective impact of people like you, people that invest in the potential of young people, people that care about their community. Our kids are facing some extremely difficult challenges ahead. And we talk to young people a lot, and we ask them what they're afraid of, what they're excited about. I'm not going to make any major assumptions here, but if you went to college, back when some of you went to college, it was pretty much guaranteed that you would just get a job immediately after that, right? Maybe before you even left college, you already had the job lined up. Can you imagine how scary it is for a young person to not know that after your education is complete, you did the thing that everyone told you you're supposed to do in order to be competitive in the market? You still have zero guarantees that there's a job waiting for you on the other end. Can you also imagine how difficult it is to imagine doing all that work, earning your education, going into the career you can't afford to live in the community that you were born in? These are some significant obstacles that are in front of our kids. And I don't know that we have the answer for everything, but I do know this. We do the big things, always looking at what's ahead, and we're providing the support system, the mentors, the resources, the funding, so that we can clear those obstacles and help kids build that bridge from where they are to where they need to be. Some of you might wonder, why do we have a mentor gap? Why is that even a thing? Did you just make that up? Maybe. I don't know. I didn't. We have more kids in our communities than there are mentors. Simple. So what do we need to do about it? We need to find more ways to scale our impact, scale our infrastructure, so that we can provide more mentors to the kids in our communities who need that support system. We need more volunteers that are going to give their time, share their expertise, and give those opportunities so that they can have impact on the next generation of young people. We need to build sustainable growth, new funding opportunities, new ways to serve, innovative ways. You heard Travis share this new concept that we're delivering inside of a retail center. We're literally right next to a round table pizza and a nail salon, so if you're at both, make sure to stop in at the Boys and Girls Club. We're trying new things because we need new solutions to address the new problems that exist in our communities. And I want you to think about your kids, your grandkids, your nephews. You want the very best for them. Our board of directors is incredible. We have a rule of thumb. We will treat every single child and teen that we serve as if they're our own family. We have no different standard. If it's good enough for our family, we want to make sure that that's the standard for our kids. And it's those little things that make a big difference. It's those little things that stick in someone's memory and follows them their entire life. A few weeks ago, I think Charles Antis is here. Charles donated a suite at the Honda Center so that we can take a bunch of kids, teens, to their first concert. They got to go see a K-pop concert. If you don't know what K-pop is, don't worry about it, you don't need to know. One of our other donors, board members, gave some angel tickets, VIP, and we could have done anything with them. We decided to give them the tickets to a family that loves the Angels. And they sent us pictures. You should have seen their smiles, just ear to ear. This was the best experience that they've ever had in Angel Game. It's those little things. See IKEA in the back? We opened up this new space, you just saw the pictures. We reached out to IKEA and we said, can you help us make this space look great and just make it feel like home? You saw those pictures. Every piece of furniture in that space was donated by IKEA. I want to thank you, IKEA, for that. Those little things. I want to leave you with this. We get to make so many decisions every single day. You decided to come here today. Thank you. You decided to support our organization. You decide to volunteer. You decide to share what we're doing with others. Those are those little things that make a huge difference. And I just want you to know, we appreciate, we're grateful for all of those little things. I want to thank you on behalf of the kids, the teens, and the families we serve for believing in their potential, for supporting this organization, for inspiring us and enabling us to do so many great things, big and small. I just want to thank you for being a part of our family, the Boys and Girls Club, and for making us do great things. Thank you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage Travis Witten.
Once again, everyone, I want to thank you all for being here today. Thank you for being a part of our Boys and Girls Club's impact over the past year. You'll see on your tables, on your chairs, our impact report. There are also contact cards for anyone that's not involved with the club. There's ways to volunteer with your corporation as an individual. Reach out. We'd love to give you a tour, show you our facilities, show you the impact firsthand about how, where, and when you may be able to get involved with our mission. Thank you again. Thank you all for being here. Enjoy the rest of your day and have a great day. Bye.